Hey everybody, welcome to ARodesky Genealogy. In today's episode, you're going to hear the interview I had with Faith Jack. This is part 2 of my interview, and in this one, she's going to talk to you about her aunt, Aunt Myrtle, or as she lovingly refers to her, Crazy Myrtle.
Came back for phase number 2 because as I was leaving, she decided to share some additional information with me that is something that whenever anyone finds this in their family line and their ancestors, either they are excited, they're sad, but she seemed like she was pretty excited and thought it was pretty neat, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. So let's pick up and go back to what were you telling me when I had turned it off?
So my maternal great aunt, Myrtle,
Myrtle.
I always knew Mom would say, she had an aunt. Aunt Myrtle was in Dixmont Hospital, which was an insane asylum outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And actually, after my mother passed, she kept everything in a roller skate case, all her mementos from childhood. And I can remember as a child going through this roller skate case with her. And so she at one point had divided all the stuff up, put them in manila folders for each. I have 3 siblings, for each of us. So after she passed, we had gotten our little packets. But then after my father passed, I took the roller skate case, and there were still things in there that she hadn't divided out to anyone. And there was a postcard from Aunt Myrtle, and it was thanking them for a Christmas gift. It was like a New Year's postcard. And so we didn't know a whole lot about that line of the family. So I started looking, and in the 1900 census, her brother, and my grandmother were in an orphanage here in Pittsburgh. It's the Allegheny and Pittsburgh Home for the Friendless. And so then in the 1930 census, I find her in Dixmont Hospital. So then I started searching that. I became very interested in what happened to Myrtle. And there were actually, at that time period when I was looking, there was an article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and a friend gave it to me, and it was about Dixmont Hospital and another descendant of someone that was in there was trying to find information, and it was about the cemetery there. And I thought, well, maybe Myrtle's buried there. So I have one remaining aunt on my mother's side, and I was talking to her, and she said, no, Myrtle's buried in the Katanning Cemetery, because that's where her mother had gone and remarried. So I did some more exploring, and I sent to the Pennsylvania State Archives, and I got the redacted records of Myrtle, and it had, death information, it had intake information, and actually, she had an aunt who was in Dixmont.
So it gets deeper.
Yes. So then I started thinking, so I kept talking to my aunt, and I said, well, why was Myrtle in Dixmont? And she said, she said she was religious crazy.
Religious crazy. Okay.
So if anybody knows of that term, let us know.
Yeah, because that one I've not really heard of. Was it? So your aunt, she told you she was religious crazy. It wasn't documented on anything.
No, that's what my aunt said.
Okay.
So then an older cousin said that her mother always said she was man crazy.
Okay, now we know some teenage girls that would fall into the man crazy or boy crazy, even some adult women. But okay, sorry, go on. I just had to.
So she was in her mid-20s when she was admitted to Dixmont. So I said this to my aunt, and she said, well, yeah, religious man crazy.
Religious man crazy. That's a new one.
Right. So when I was talking to my aunt later about thinking, maybe Myrtle's buried at Dixmont Cemetery, and she said, no, she is buried at Katanning Cemetery. So my great-grandmother's house, Katanning's along the Allegheny River.
Okay.
She lived in West Katanning on Bluff Street. overlooking the river.
Okay.
The Katanning Cemetery is across the river, up behind the courthouse in Katanning.
Okay.
And Myrtle died in February. And my aunt remembers being out in on my grandmother's porch, watching the funeral procession with my great grandmother.
Right.
And I said, so Grandma didn't go to Aunt Myrtle's funeral? That was her daughter. And she said, well, I was young and somebody, had to stay with me. I don't think she was that young. I think she was a teenager.
Okay.
So I started asking a little bit more. I said, this kind of different. Strange. And she said, maybe because Miss Myrtle tried to stab her one time.
Oh, gosh. Okay, there could have been a reason that she didn't go, maybe. Why did Myrtle try to stab her?
Right. So then I started thinking, okay, there's the reason. And then
That would be okay. I can.
So I start looking into that, and I tried to get records from the courthouse.
Right.
And they said, because of happy laws, practicing laws.
Right.
So they said no, that they were closed. Well, then I talked to a cousin that does genealogy. She said, well, maybe there's a criminal case.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
So I tried that to check the criminal records. There was nothing in the criminal records we looked.
Okay.
So actually the prothonotary was out that day, and I was talking to a deputy prothonotary, and she said, leave some your information, your email address, and I'll check with the prothonotary when she's in. So I did, and a day later she emailed me, and she said, yeah, the records are sealed. What we're told was correct. She said, but in some cases, if you petition the president judge,
Right.
you may be able to get the records.
Did you get the records?
I got the records.
Yay! You got the records. Oh, good.
Yes, I got the records.
Good.
So, I would say probably not being a doctor, but I would say from what is in the records that she was paranoid schizophrenic.
Okay.
Yeah, and she died in Dixmont.
Okay.
She was in Dixmont for 25 years. So, but that's crazy Aunt Myrtle.
Okay, so now you've learned about crazy Aunt Myrtle. I think all of us have a crazy Aunt Myrtle somewhere along the line, but you really have a crazy Aunt Myrtle.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you again for sharing about crazy Aunt Myrtle. And thank you guys again for watching and continuing watch. Sorry about the break and come back, but once you told me about crazy Myrtle, I had to, now that I said that, my kids have talked about crazy Myrtle, and I think there's a crazy Myrtle in Harry Potter. So for all of you out there that are Harry Potter fans, there's a crazy Myrtle in Harry Potter, but she also has a crazy Myrtle. So, but thank you again so much. I appreciate it. And you guys check back. There's going to be more to come, okay?
Embrace your crazy relatives.
And crazy relatives are good things to have.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode and my interview with Faith Jack and hearing a little bit about her Aunt Myrtle, her crazy Aunt Myrtle. So leave me comments down below, let me know what you think, and click that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And remember, keep unlocking those family stories.